G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's very huffy video because I am very angry. Maybe I'm not as angry as before than what I actually had on one of the most famous buses I often tend to go to, which is of course bus route 76, in my opinion, which is of course the one that goes all the way from Northfield to Solihull, and then Solihull to Northfield all the way right wrapped around reverse. So yes, in this video, I'm going to be talking about what has just happened recently yesterday, and I tell you what, I'm still very angry at what happened to number 76, the bus route, okay? What really happened was, during my trip there, I've just noticed there's been a very big change with the bus route of number 76, okay? It happened on the 28th of April, which was of course on a Sunday, and Sunday is usually the time when people are pretty much working for a very short time, and then about 4 PM in the UK, people just pretty much take a nap and take a big rest and whatnot. But nevertheless, it's one of these days where I always take a trip to Solihull on that time on bus 76. I used to take the bus to, was it Yardleywood? There was another, I think it was bus 27, I guess. Also bus 76 goes there. Of course, yes, I always use my concessionary pass. I'm just going to cover up the phone number here, but of course that's what I use, so it's in reverse it because I'm filming it on the other side of my tablet. At least I'm not showing off my number here. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so what really happened so far has been one of the biggest debacles so far. The biggest debacle so far, then I had to really wait at the bus stop, then there was something falling right over my shoulders, and no more raindrops, okay? Okay, no more of that. Because I know what happened was pretty embarrassing. Very embarrassing. And I know what was happening so far with what happened. It just spread like wildfire, okay? None of that. None of that talk. So anyways, going back to where I was speaking about bus 76 on the proper rant that I'm actually going to be talking about. So let me just go ahead and show you what happened on Google Maps, okay? Because what really happened was that I was walking down where I used to live, okay? Well, considering of how I actually went, this is of course the area I actually went to, but I'm not going to show you so much of it somehow. So I would have actually walked by here. This is the bus stop I normally tend to stop here. But there's also another bus stop here, but if you look at what's happening somehow, of course I did walk from where I live now, and of course yes, I actually have walked all the way towards this lane here. I went past by this bus stop because that's not where it actually stops by, but this time I can't see. Guess what, I just saw a bus stop that leads from like St. Stephen's Road, and I think it was bus number 76 to St. Stephen's Road. I think there was one that says Milner Road. Okay, I think there's a bus stop. I think when I was walking down, I just saw a bus stop that says the word Milner Road. So, can I see a bus stop that says Milner Road? Yes, I can. To King's Heath, St. Stephen's Road, and Miller Road towards King's Heath. Yes, I can see it actually. Somehow, it's pretty much still there, and I didn't even know that this bus stop was here. But I think because of the roadworks, somehow it's very difficult to, I think what really happened back then, just when I was moving, there was some roadworks. Okay, what really happened was that there has been some very sneaky roadworks going on here. And in fact, the roadworks was absolutely sneaky because I think they were building like a new residence funded by my old school, the Uffcombe School, I think it was. I think this is Dogpool Lane and Persia Road in between. So what really happened was that there were two bus stops at bus 76 that stopped pretty much by. And if I dragged here, this is of course somehow the area that I lived. And of course, yes, I can't see a bus stop, but I can see a bus stop here. But if I go towards here, therefore there's a bus stop somehow that stops by, I can't really remember. I think there was a bus stop that actually would have stopped by, I don't think there is one here, but maybe if I continue right over here, I think there is a bus stop, which I believe it's not yeah, I think it's probably either these two bus stops. So when I think about it, it's actually this bus stop here. They now went for this. I think what's going on is that they've just swapped these two bus stops here. They actually swapped from that bus stop, which is this one here, Fast Shoulder Road, and then there's another one right next to the River Ray. Okay, I'm not really just rhyming for the fun of it. I'm just rhyming for the raining part of it. Okay, so I'm being very, very serious. This is the bus stop that I normally tend to stop here. Okay, if I turn around, here's the bus stop that they stop in now. Okay, let's go back to the journey of what I was talking about. So I walked all the way from Manila Road, walk across the Dogpool Lane section here, and yes, the roadworks have been finished. And then, just as I walked through across a very long way across through the Persia Road, I then turned, I think it was left, and then I walked up towards this bus stop here. Now, here comes the most confusing part about bus 27 and 76. And what really happened was that when I saw that bus stop, it just said that. I hope the people behind the National Express West Midlands bus services are listening, okay? Because what they've done for me was an absolute pile of trashful cheating, okay? It was just a pile of trash, and bloody hell, they actually cheated on me. Not just I'm saying that they cheated on something else, but they cheated me, and I think this goes down into a very big lesson here. Because guess what? It says both 27 and number 76. Okay, so there's two numbers here where next to where lum is. And of course, yes, when I walked by, there was something that made me pull the lever. Okay, I tried to get into many bus stops, and I walked basically away from this bus stop, and then I tried the next bus stop. But guess what? I was completely and utterly frustrated that I had to really walk from here, which was Linwood Road. Guess what? I actually ended up walking up here and then turned left and then went up the hill. Okay, I went up the flipping hill. And you know what happened? There's another bus 76 here, which is in Moor Green Lane, which I somehow forgot to notice it was here, hey? And guess what? I ran up upstairs towards Shotlock Lane, not far away from Kings Heath Park. And yes, I did got into trouble when I was running away all the way towards this part because I was struggling to find bus number 76. Okay, it was a complete and utter faff. Okay, everyone's gonna hear about this story, and I know the National Express West Midlands has done so much horrible things, like I've seen with those drunk people. And guess what? The bus driver had to clear away both of them. Okay, that was very relatively intimidatingly scary. Just thinking about that. And of course, I just can't believe that the National Express West Midlands bus services have cheated on me. And guess what? Even Google Maps has cheated on me. And guess what? They've double cheated me right at the start of the bus journey, okay? So, what really happened was, guess what? The National Express West Midlands bus services also complies to this website here, the Bus Times website, which is the one that I normally use whenever I go outside on a flipping bus journey towards whatever, Solihull or any other part of Birmingham, okay? So, from now on, it looks like they deleted Ripple Road because of the roadworks. They're now pretty much gone now. And guess what? They're now focusing on these bus stops. And okay, if I go back to the messages now, look what's happened to the rest of bus 76. Okay, maybe I could take a look at all of the bus stops and see what the hell has changed so far. And guess what? I tell you what, I'm never going to complain about this absolute debacle of a bus journey. I'm never going to do that, because guess what's been changing? Guess what? They changed Milner Road. They changed back into Milner Road and Fashoda Road. And guess what? They should have actually acknowledged the problem back in the last part of, let's just say, I'd probably guess the last 2 weeks ago, I think. And, I think Bus 76 should have actually passed that message. And I think it's a very big failure for the National Express West Midlands for me, because, oh my goodness me, I feel like they've done some very horrible things of late, and I know the passengers, they have actually done some very horrible things going to these buses, and I tell you what, when the next time when I get into these buses, I'm gonna pretty much give them a complete earful, because it has been hurting convenience over passengers like me. Oh my crikeys, I feel like this bus service really needs to go down and trial on, because there has to be a trial on why these bus services had to change in the first place. I'm sorry if I had to rant here, because I can't see any messages that relate back to the bus service updates. Oh wait, sorry about that. There's been a very big change. Okay, I didn't notice there's a bus 76 update here. Oh, okay now I'm very sorry about that. The Dogpool Lane closure of bus 76 diversion. Now I see why I started to get relatively angry, because hey, that was my bad, an accident to talk about that. So obviously I did not notice about that. There's some minor timetable changes. Okay, with bus number 76, they've returned to the normal line of routes following the completion of long-term works on Dogpool Lane. And obviously I did not even realise that what was going on, probably because I didn't pay attention to what the National Express West Midlands service has pretty much done for me. And I'll tell you what, I am pretty much still very angry about it, but at the same time, I'm actually deeply ashamed. And I think I'm completely very mortified about it, because I didn't live here in the first place. So obviously that was my fault and my bad for ranting at this part of the video. And maybe if any bus driver would have passed the message towards me, it would have been fairly fair, okay? It's game over if they would have actually kept it secret, okay? So what's actually happening now is that after this has been changed, guess what? Buses are now going to go not actually from here, which is of course that section there, which is where bus 76 and 27 would have actually been at that time. Guess what? It's not going from here, it's going to here. Now, sorry about me ranting about it, or else the neighbours, cops would have actually aroused me. I better have to leave this video here. I'm sorry for ranting about that, but obviously I should have actually paid a much more wider attention about those buses all the way towards Solihull. But maybe I was being a bit harsh here. Maybe I was just pretty much ranting for the best of it and not the worst of it. But hey, thank God for me, hey, for that purpose. And actually I should probably film here, because that's where I used to live in. And of course, yes, I'm opening the window here so I can cool my face off. And it's nothing worse than having me on a very angry day or a very angry accident after yesterday's debacle. And clearly enough, I should have clearly paid attention. And I'm just looking around here. Okay, so in the end, I now regret for pretty much yelling right in front of camera, or right behind of camera, because really I felt like it was wrong to see why the National Express West Midlands has changed for the heck of it. And I know absolutely why I did that in the first place. But there was one thing I feel like they've done for me absolutely worse for me, was that when I talked to one of the drivers, they didn't even reply. They didn't even holler about the changes or anything, and I just got totally ripped off. And I tell you what, I'm feeling rather ripped off now, and I can't believe I'm so ropeable. Very ropeable about the drivers not telling me about the changes, what has been happening with bus 76, okay? It's been a complete debacle with what happened yesterday. And I could tell you what, I'm still very angry at what they did to me. Because not only they've actually changed the bus route, but they did not ever tell me about the changes that were happening on that route. When the roadworks were there at Dogpool Lane and Persia Road, that would have been fairly fair at that time if the bus drivers only would have actually understood and actually answered that question fairly enough. And I know it was, keep it simple, stupid. It was kept secret. It was kept simple, stupid. It's like the rock band Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Of course. Why do I get dyslexia and stuff? 1 second. Obviously, I don't know why the hell am I actually ranting right in front of camera. Am I just ranting out of context? Or is it just the fact that because of those damn buses that have been changing on bus 76? Blimey. Those bus services grind my gears now. And I mean, and I wouldn't like to say F you to that because, well, that's crass. Because, I mean, honestly, if those bus services would have actually, if I would have taken a look at the website earlier on, from yesterday, that would have been a very fair and very positive way without actually me getting very angry about those bus services. And I tell you what, if any of the bus drivers, if I actually come along and ask them and tell us what happened to the bus services now, I'm gone. Okay, I would have been very, very gone. But now I've seen that why the bus services have changed, has pretty much has pretty much made me feel absolutely regretful about being quite ropeable and angry at the start of this video. So yes, by the time when I actually was so disappointed and angry about those changes, and I was like, why did I have to go and change everything? Really? Because obviously, I thought it was like the normal bus service route, because that's where bus 76 would have actually went to. But now it seems like that the changes have pretty much have been inaugurated, and I think what's pretty much happening now is that the bus services have now gone back to normal, which for me it isn't. Really, I mean that's just embarrassing and just appalling. I can't believe what they've done to me. I can't believe the National Express West Midlands has letting all of its bus drivers kept its secret squirrel. And I'm just so ticked off about it. I'm very, very ropeable about this. The National Express West Midlands bus service should be very ashamed about themselves. And I think they were very adamant at that time, very ashamed about them. Those bus drivers should be very ashamed about themselves. Because I know, okay, it feels like, the bus drivers, maybe I could try and holler out to the bus drivers out from camera, not just the general public. And I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed about those changes that should have been enclosed and should have been disclosed to the general public, people like me. Okay, one thing that's even more worse, when I went into that bus stop, number 27, and guess what? When I went into that bus stop, let me go ahead and do a jump cut on what happened when I actually went into that bus stop right over at Hazelwall Park, which is where Ripper Road is, I think. Okay, here it is. This is where bus 27 would have stopped by. This is the bus stop that would have actually had both number 27 and 76. And yes, there was bus 76 on that red billboard thingy, I think it was. It talked about the bus routes, it talked about the timetables, it talked about the times and the days of whatever the hell, what time the buses will come. And guess what? There was no messages about bus 76. Not even a single one letter about bus 76 has appeared on the flipping bus stop. I mean, that is just wrong. Well, that's also the same with bus number 76's other stop, which is, of course, bus 27's current bus stop, which is, of course, the now much more bus 27 route. And guess what? Bus 76 has been finally abolished. And guess what? I'm still completely offended, and that's what this video is all about. And I don't know why I'm actually getting absolutely hyper here, but I'm just completely shafted over those flipping bus drivers making a big excuse of not actually telling the truth about those flipping changes that happened yesterday during my trip to Solihull. And guess what? And I mean, it was a perfectly fine day walking up this flipping hill, but now it feels like that has caused a whole bunch of confusion and delay. About 41 minutes. Flipping hell. I departed the house from like 1:45, and then I had to make a great big long walk on the other neighbourhood, on the other side, and now I wasted for approximately 45 minutes. And guess what? I nearly wasted a flipping hour on a flipping bus journey that has been shifted back to its actual route, which I didn't find it very accurate. Sorry, I didn't have to really yell right out of screen here, but I was still, look at this. Look at this, guys. Bus 27. And if I look closely here, I'm not joking. Dun dun dun, bus 27. Why won't they even go back? And I mean, I don't have to sound like I'm completely angry all the time here as I'm making this video here. I've actually got some fruit downstairs, and of course here's two of them. There's an apple and a tangerine here. I think I should probably stop raining here and get my blood pressure boiling. I'm actually going to pretty much finish off this video here, noticing that I've ranted for a lot much more longer than usual. I heard some knocking out from the other side, but I can tell you what, to never make the same mistake over and over and over again, never ever doing it again, by the next time when I'm coming back into Solihull, I shall have to pretty much alter the way I go to Solihull these days. So instead of going up towards Hazelwall Park where Ripper Road is, which is the one I normally take, I have to now focus, guess what, which bus up shall I focus on now? For Shoulder Road. That's the one I'm going to take nowadays. And it's located right in front of here. And of course this is I'm coming back to my trip to Solihull every Sunday. Guess what? It's meant to be here. And of course this, I think when I actually got really mad about it, and yes, I wasted nearly about a flipping 60 minutes on that journey. Yeah, I think what really happened was that I wasted 60 minutes on a flipping bus journey. And that was very embarrassing. I actually didn't get into the bus until about, when was it? I think it was 25 to 3, I think it was. But luckily enough, I got there right at about, oh man, I think it was just about 40 minutes to bus journey, so it would have actually taken out to about 3:15. I think it was, but I only stayed at the park for a very relatively short time. Okay, so I would have actually done that, but there was actually one swindling factor. The other curious part is that if I scroll all the way towards Solihull, which I believe it's here you go, there's Solihull, that's the normal bus route I always go to. So, how do I take? And of course, yes, I'm not going to show you the postcode, but I'm going to show you where I get to Tudor Grange Park, which is the park I always go to. And it's the one that I always go to whenever I go on a bus journey, like so. So, I'm going to pretty much gear away against, from that, of course, to be honest, hey, now, guess what? Look what's happened to this bus route here. Look what's happened with flipping Google Maps. What the hell has gone wrong with Google Maps? That is just flipping unbelievable. I'm so angry at the moment now, so angry. God dang it. What the hell is wrong with Google Maps? I'm flipping at him with you, Google Maps. You've ruined Bus 76. You have ruined Bus 76's actual route. It's meant to be the other way around. Flippin' hell. Flip you, Google Maps. Why are you doing to me? Why are you doing this to me? For the sake of my bus journeys, for my trip to Solihull every Sunday. I mean, give me a flippin' break. I am just so flippin', just disappointed and just completely shamefully angry. I've just seen why this has really turned into a massive turmoil. It's like a massive train wreck, now more like a bus wreck. It's turned into a complete turmoil and a complete mess. And guess what? Really, they should have actually included this as an actual bus route, and then that should have actually included the trajectory of that bus route passing by the fish and chip store and then the convenience stores. Okay, it would have been very fair. It would have been a fair go, as if this bus route wasn't this, but instead this, and mainly into this. And I just got to think to myself, what in the actual hell has gone wrong to this bus route? And that is just absolutely sickening. I'm sorry to actually get really ranty here, but I'm just really shafted of what's actually been gone wrong with the bus services, and now I'm having it now. But anyways, here's the stop I always go to. Guess what? Now, very much of such, I'm going to add a new destination because I'm going to come back to where I just started. And yeah, you know, that's somehow one of the biggest debacles I had on a bus journey. And somehow, I must have been absolutely flipping confused over a bus journey that has decided to turn back to, let's just say, normal all by itself. And I mean, very deeply ashamed of just how stupid it actually is. Just absolutely stupid. Just terrible. Completely terrible. Just absolutely wrong. Never ever going to see this type of mistake ever again. Okay, I better leave this video here before I get into too much trouble. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. Well, I don't usually put this up at the end of that rant in that video, of course, as I just made. But of course, yes, if you really enjoyed or not enjoyed, please like or dislike. It happens every time when I make these types of videos on YouTube, and I know anyone doesn't like to see me angry and stuff. And of course, yes, I won't probably get back into another angry accent. And of course, yes, you don't like me when I'm angry, don't I? No, because I better have to leave this video here before the neighborhood cops are gonna pretty much call me and probably send me back into prison. And of course, yes, I'm have to find something that will probably cool me down, because it's nothing worse than having an angry accent, isn't it? Better calm down and leave the video, hey? Better calm down. Better.